But if you need support, I'll just submit my email if that supports you, or like donate money. So it doesn't have to. I don't even have to have like that, because everybody thinks that they need to have a say per se, to show that you want the world to change. But I think there's other ways to show your support for a cause. And
I mean, I
it doesn't
agree
have to
because
be-
our spheres of influence aren't that big, like, to be honest. And I look around me, right, and most people share the same kind of views I have. Like, everyone knows Black lives do matter, and in some form or another, they have read and educated themselves about it, and they know that racism is bad. So I don't feel like a need to post it on my social media and say like I support you. I can support in other ways, you know. I can donate to a cause. We can all do that, but we don't feel the need to, because our sphere of influence is just too small. Like, having conversations like this even help, actually, understanding each other and understanding struggles of minorities.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I think that's a very I guess we all kind of see it the same way. Like, but I don't know. Is that means is activism needed more now? Since we're all quite, I guess I would say we're all quite passive in this whole like situation, and I don't want to turn this into a debate whether activism is important or things or this and that, because we don't really know much about it. But okay, maybe I'll give you an example. Like last night I was talking, and there was this example of this person who was calling out her friends for not being active enough about speaking up against this whole situation that's happening. And she also called out a friend who, so this friend is Asian, and he didn't realize that he always used on Instagram stories you see that those reaction gifs that people do of different people, and then this Asian guy always use black people as reaction gifs, and then the person got called out, say this is like digital blackface. Yeah, and so it's the first time I've heard of it, and apparently it's a thing. But is that kind of thing needed now more than ever, that this one person who will go out and tell you, calling you out on what you are doing that isn't right, even though you didn't mean any harm? Like, I would think that a person would probably just find this a funny thing and wanted to use this gif. But maybe in the back of the head, there's this whole digital blackface that's happening, which is, I guess, is important to highlight. But this kind of actively calling out your peers and your friends about it, do you guys think it's needed more now?
I think this stems from, okay, so it's gonna go into like the being woke, right, or being overly woke, or being aware of these things, as you say. But what happens is slowly, right? Like I said, even the small, like the big things aside, the smaller things are gonna be that, where do you draw the line then? So for things that 5 years ago would never have been a big deal, now it's like, oh, how can you say this thing? How can you call a trans person dude or something like that? Like, people have been banned on Twitter for saying stuff like that. So you have like things that slowly people are claiming that, these, okay, that's offensive also, this is offensive, and you reach a point where like you're gonna be overly cautious about what you're saying, and then it will definitely stifle your expression to some level, and what's going to happen is the pendulum's going to swing the other way, and people are going to be saying, screw all that, like, I don't want to be that, all this overly policed and overly PC culture, and you swing back the other way saying, and then they will just be like, I'm just going to say whatever I want, and then they start saying the most controversial things just to get back at the other side. So this whole like cancel culture, the whole thing's like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. I guess for big things, like in terms of, using racial slurs and stuff like that, and like stuff that most people would consider racist is one thing, but then once you start going into these details where it's debatable as to what the intention is, then I feel like then it's such a gray area, right? You just don't know where to draw the line, and it's dangerous. I think I feel it's just gonna cause more people to be upset from the other side who don't see it, who genuinely didn't have bad intentions when they did it, to be labeled as racist. Then you're gonna be like, what? Like, if that makes me racist, then I'm racist. I don't care. I'm racist.
Yeah.
You know, it loses the meaning.
Or it could definitely like suppress someone all the way to like, I just
Yeah.
won't talk about this anymore.
Who
But then that's
defines
what
all these
happens, right?
cultures though, and words that
Yeah.
you can use and yeah.
There
So
should
how
be
do
a
you?
handbook.
Yeah, who writes this handbook and who polices it? I think like what you say, right? It's always two sides of everything. Like there's like the conservatives and there's the liberals. Right? It's always a split, and between the spectrum, there's like 0 to 100 kind of spectrum on both ends actually. So where do you
It's
draw
like
the line?
it's like a circle. Like it comes right back around after that.
Mhm.
You go too
Mhm.
far on one side, and yeah, like you said, if people stop talking about it, then what they're gonna do is they're just gonna go and not discuss it, and then just vote in silence, and then then you get surprise election winners like
Silent
What's that
majority.
yeah.
I think bringing this discussion back to the movie, right? I think what the movie did well was that it managed to show all stereotypes quite equally. Like I think to me that's the way to do it lah. To actually shine the spotlight on each race and make fun of it, as long as you make fun of it equally. You know what I mean?